Hello everyone, today we will see what's new in Revit 2026.1 for analytical modeling automation. So at first, since 2025.2 you have that. In 2026.1, what we have in plus, we have a small announcement that now you can see which level is used. And it will create the same, but now in the past, this red line, you don't see it. Now you will be able to see it. I think it's the most important thing. So at first, you will have a rule. So you can see here which level will be used. And if it's not checked structural, it won't be used. Okay, so only analytical will be used. Something really nice, it's now, as you can see, you have button to edit selection. And after you have this tool set, so you can add, remove, and then finish or cancel like you want. So of course we have the same spirit as the old interface. So here you will check this parameter for column and wall here. So here, for example, it will be 1 meter. Same for slab. So if the slab is 20, it will be 20 centimeters. And for beams. Okay, but you see it directly in the interface. We will have the same spirit of tolerancy. So if you have a big tolerance, it will group more elements. If you put a small tolerance, like 0.3, there will be more groups. Here, for example, less than 3, like in the past, it will be not aligned, and more than 3 aligned. Okay, but what is really nice, it's not you have the preview. It means that you have to be in 3D view. Well, here it's in top, and you can see this line. So for example, here it's 0.3. Here you can see you have 2 lines. Well, this wall is 20 to give you an insight, and in one you have only 1. If you look here, you have 2 lines. So I've done little mod. So here it's tolerance 1. Here with tolerance 4, you see here you have only 1 line. So depending of what you want, maybe you can do some part of the file with 1 and another with 4. After you will run, okay, and when you run, it will create this, and at the end, create the analytical element. If you want to have more, you have the help, which is there. Of course, I would love to say that now slabs are aligned, but still, like in Revit 2025.2, they are not. So at the end, you need to edit the boundary to change. But since, like in 2025.2, now you can see that all what have been created is on the axis, and you can see the axis in 3D. You can easily edit and change the elements. This for slab, well, floor in Revit, and foundation slab rafter. Okay, so arc curve can be generated the same, but still not split beam or curve walled. So I won't display my real slab, I display only the article. So you can see the axis, I'm in plan view, and of course I will go on the axis. The wall will have been already created on this axis. You have to mind, like last year, all the element which is aligned, okay, the openings inside will follow, okay, and sometimes if you have close to level, it will do the same, depending, of course, of your tolerance. So the cutout made by the structural join in physical element are still ignored. So if you have, for example, 2 buildings like that, and you don't want, for example, this beam to be aligned with this one, okay, you can create individually each building. Of course, you can see the status of not connected or unconnected, like previously. And here at the bottom, so you have to open the real Dynamo for this, but at the end, you have all the report. And even, I would say, if you don't open, they will be created. It's better to open where just to see where it is for real. Now let's go for the live demo from Revit. Create the analytical in Revit and send, of course, to robot, but you can send to other software if you prefer. So at first, what I will do, I will select what was previously done. I will delete all. Yeah, there was. So maybe because of the slab are not aligned, I would like previously do not display my slab floor. Okay. So then I will edit my selection. So here I have only this. So I will select all except my slab. So now I finish. Okay. If you want, you can remove, if you want to remove some. Okay. And then I will align. So I will do first in cut view because it's more obvious. And I go out. So here I line in level. As you can see, this one is not in this color because if I quit, I come back, this one is not structural. If I check, for example, which is not logical, but just for you to see, all are taken into account. Okay. Of course, into account maybe not because if the floor analysis I change value, it will be go on one or another. But let's move back and remove the finish floor. Okay. Now, if I go in my 3D, I go here, align, implant, and I go for preview. You see with one year, 1 year, 1 year, 1 year. Yeah, now I understand the difference between now in the PowerPoint. In the PowerPoint, here I remove the slab, and when I create my view with the PowerPoint, there was some small openings, maybe we guide all of this. So, for example, here if I move to 0.3, so okay, I need to create again my preview, of course. Here you see I have 2 lines in blue, and maybe here too, you see. So it's up to you, but yeah, I would go for 1. Okay, and if I look only here to see if it's fit, maybe I won't display the node. Okay, well, just this is not, I could haven't selected here. It seems fine. Let's have a look how it looks like in robot. So the best, I would say to see, my point of view, it's maybe to mesh, not too big, but just to have a first view if elements are connected. Well, it seems it's fine. Well, the opening are like the slab. It creates the opening like it is. So here, if you have a look, that's why I like to mesh, because in fact the opening, there is maybe 5 centimeters between the opening and the other. So that's why there is this mesh, which is weird. And as you can see, we see directly on robot, maybe on Revit, it's not so easy to see. But let's fix it. I think, as you can see, these openings. So now, okay, maybe I can lengthen back again. Well, and here in English interface, it's better. Here, let's do it again. Yeah, you see, it's fixed. Let's have a look, okay, of the warning. So now let's create the slab. So I will do all, okay. Okay, now selected. And now I will all floor, sorry, floor. So I won't display my analytical. Okay, so I will add my floor. And I will go here in the view, line in plant. But it won't align anything, but I can run. Yeah, so here I don't see. So after I have to go on my analytical level here, and like you can see, I will select my slab, analytical panel, and edit boundaries, and move. I could have displayed my axis, but here it's obvious, I align on the wall. Well, I have all the level I want to live all, but just for you to see it's not so consuming. Here some things, it's an opening. Maybe it's better to you have different grips, so I will this one, for example, and so now I will put a boundary condition. So at first I will be in the local global axis. I'll be user, and I will put spring for my rafter, and 10% of the value in the other direction. Okay. And you select. Yeah, and in the past, when you have, for example, isolated footing or continuous footing, it creates support, but it's no more the case. So I will create element here. So here I will create fix. Well, maybe it's not so logical because if you have fix and release, but it's just for the demo, and I will put point here. Here, maybe I will add one here, but maybe it's not needed. We will see here, and here, 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 and here. I prefer to add the support in Revit. Of course, I could have add them in Robot, but the advantage is anytime you will send to change update, since it's always in Revit, you will have them. Now what I will do, I will do the condition. So here I have only two. I go to my load case and combination. Here is the new functionality. So here I will select Great Britain, British standards, Eurocode. So here the nature is not the good one. And this is live load B. Okay. So when you have done this, so here the combination I have in my template. So well, I could keep them, or I will remove them. Okay, and here I can click sur automate. So it creates a case. You can, for example, like in the past, I would like to have only this ULS, yeah, and some classic SLS. Okay, but here, since it's automatic, I will select them all and add to the table. And you have the element here. So you can click on OK, and then same, I do it here, so I always have them in Robot. Yeah, by the way, the combination, it's the same kernel, but in the cloud to create them. So you will have the same if you do in Robot. So now I will do like yesterday. I will put 1 meter. Well, I could have removed all the small openings either in Robot like this if needed, or by selection. I can have done the same here in Revit. Here you see, by the way. But yeah, let's go this way. I will. Okay. Of course, where there is all the openings, there is a lot of small element, and then I will do my analysis. And now I will see my yeah, you see here it's fine. Maybe I could activate the deformation. It's important, I think, at first to look at the deformation. So if it's not linked, of course, you will have a lot of deformation. Here, 3 millimeters, it's fine. So let's run maybe the still because they are. So I move to Eurocode here. So it's not linked. So before I switch my robot to Great Britain here, because even if I choose Great Britain before, it's not linked. But of course, the combination here are based on Eurocode, British standards. So here I will select only this, and I will analyze. So yeah, it's working. Okay. Of course it's working because it's a real building, but imagine it's not, or I want to have a smaller to see. I will create a group. I will select OK and section. OK, and let's do a group design optimization. Wait. OK, and let's imagine I change for OK, I change. OK. My groups. No, I will do the member verification, but only this. Okay, in both. It's fine. So now I change. Save. Now I can come here, go here, and I will update the analytical model. So now the column of the new section previously was this one. Okay, and now if I want to update the structural, I will show maybe not all. So of course the physical haven't changed. So to update, you need to run the other element from analytical to physical. I will this, and as you can see, and this family has been created automatically because the robot and Revit share the same database, and it was not in my template before. Thank you for watching.